Hello friends, welcome to Top of the Stack MTG. So we have another deck tech for you. Of course, we're getting ready for game day, so we're going to do a bunch of standard deck techs in hopes of finding a good deck to play during game day. Today we have Mono Green Stompy, I guess. It's a green deck, and it's tons of fun. Very, very cool. So for starters, we've got Druid of the Cowl. This is a 2-drop. It's a little bit of mana ramping. Tap to add 1 forest to your mana pool. Excellent. And then we move on to Rhonas the Indomitable. It's a 3-drop. He's a 5/5, Death Touch and Indestructible. When Rhonas the Indomitable can't attack or block unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater. And if you pay 3, another target creature gets +2/+0 and gains trample until the end of the turn. Really excellent. That Indestructible, the Death Touch, those things really make this creature hard to deal with. It does have the negative. You got to get a big guy out there. But that's the whole point of the deck, is getting big guys out there. So it's good. We're also going to run 4 copies of Majestic Myriarch. This card is excellent. I couldn't tell just reading it. After playing it, when I realized how great the card truly is, especially with Rhonas. If you have Rhonas on the battlefield and you play the Chimera, then it becomes a 4/4. So automatically Rhonas can now attack and block. And when you're in a combat step, whether it's yours or your opponent's, the Chimera gains Death Touch and Indestructible. The combo is just insane. If you can get Rhonas on the battlefield and 2 of these Majestic Myriarchs, it's unstoppable. They're excellent, excellent together. Also, we have Verdurous Gearhulk. Verdurous Gearhulk is great because it has trample. It's a 4/4 and you get to put 4 counters out. Most of the time I put the counters right on the Gearhulk. But there have been times when I've needed to spread them out, especially when you cheat the Gearhulk into play, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, when this is in play, then Majestic Myriarch also gains trample, which is really great. So, Indestructible, Death Touch, Trample. Just crazy good, crazy good. We also have Overcome in the deck. Out of nowhere, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until the end of the turn. If you have 4 or 5 creatures, it ends the game. Just straight up, the game is over. It's an excellent card. They used to have a more powerful one in Standard, probably in 2014, something like that. And I think it was just too broken, so they tweaked it down just a little bit. Just a +2/+2, but still an amazing card. Absolutely worth running in this deck. We're also doing Champion of Rhonas. I talked about cheating cards into play earlier. You may exert Champion of Rhonas when it attacks. When you do, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's great for Verdurous Gearhulk, for another Majestic Myriarch. The weird thing about it is, the creature, you're already in combat. So if you swing in with 3 guys, and one of them is the Champion of Rhonas, and you cheat in a Verdurous Gearhulk, the counters should, it's up to you, but can go on the creatures that are attacking right now. In a weird way, it's kind of a combat trick. It's interesting. That's worth playing around with. And the reason that kind of works is because the Gearhulk says when Verdurous Gearhulk enters the battlefield, distribute 4 +1/+1 counters on target creatures you control. So it's not when you cast it, it's when it enters the battlefield. So cheating this guy in is really great. Okay, what else do we got? Lifecraft's Bestiary. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. This is another card that, when I first read it, I wasn't like, oh, I have to play that. That's amazing. But after using it in this deck, it's incredible. It's so great to be able to scry a little bit, to be able to get a little bit of card advantage. Just an excellent, excellent card. Also, we are running 4 Nissa Vital Force. I don't use Planeswalkers very often. I'm not used to them, but I'm using this one, and I'm enjoying it. It's good. +1, untap target land you control. Until your next turn, it becomes a 5/5 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Really nice if you got to swing in for just a little bit more, especially if you're about to play Overcome. Or if you just want to protect Nissa because you've swung in with everybody and all your guys are tapped. It's a great way for her to protect herself. So that's really nice. -3, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. This is great for getting back Overcomes, for getting back Majestic Myriarchs or Rhonas. You know, I mean, a lot of these cards work well together, and if you lose one, you could lose the ability to use the others. So getting a card back is excellent. And -6, you get an emblem with whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Once again, more card advantage. Just great. Great all the way around. The last card is Rishkar's Expertise. I love this card. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. This is a 6-drop. Every other card in the deck is 5 or less. So whatever you have in your hand that you really love, you can just put it down. Whatever you need in that moment, you can just put it down. This is excellent. A game winner. And that's why we put a little bit of ramp in, because going up to 6 can be a little bit rough. But I haven't had any trouble now that we have Druid of the Cowl in there. Excellent. And of course, we're just running 24 forests because it's monocolored. So great deck. Really fun, really great deck. Let's talk about sideboard for a second. So we have Nature's Way. Great, great removal. Target creature you control gains vigilance and trample until the end of the turn. That right there is excellent. Also, if you put that on a creature that isn't the Majestic Myriarch, the Majestic Myriarch also gains vigilance and trample. So that's really nice. It deals damage equal to its power to a target creature you don't control. The neat thing is they're not fighting each other, so your toughness doesn't go down. You can kill a creature without taking any kind of a negative on your toughness. So that's really nice. So Nature's Way's in there against maybe some kind of mirror match or anything where you want to get rid of a creature. If you want to get rid of the snake that does the tokens or whatever. Also, Root Out. Of course, we put Root Out in. It's a very versatile card. 3-drop, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Just great. You're going to need to get rid of these, whether you're dealing with curses or artifacts or whatever. Very important card. Heroic Intervention. I also grabbed permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of the turn. This was important for the Hour cards, Hour of Devastation, all that kind of stuff. Any kind of big board wipe or mass removal, which there seems to be a lot of now, that's going to be great. Very important for your sideboard. Let's talk about dealing with blue. Dealing with control is very tough. Right now, I've got 4 Prowling Serpopards in my deck, in the sideboard, because it gives my creatures the ability to not be countered. It can't be countered when you cast it. I think it's really good at gumming up blue a little bit. You know, you could, there are other options, I think, but this was the best thing I could find. So this is what I'm running right now. We'll see if that changes. I do want to mention Blossoming Defense. It's an excellent card Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until the end of the turn. It's an instant. It's a great way to save a guy from removal. It's only a 1-drop, so you don't have to leave that much mana up. I'm debating, I'm not sure right now. Because of the mass removal that's available right now, I feel like Heroic Intervention is a better choice, but Blossoming Defense is still excellent. It'll save you from all kinds of removal against specific creatures. So I want to throw that out there, just so everybody knows. Okay, that's it for this Deck Tech. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit the bell if you want to receive notifications, subscribe if you feel like it, and have a great day.